Hey, morning everyone. Welcome briefing on Saturday the 14th. Just put the overnight chart over there on the screen so you can see we were overnight in this sort of westerly airflow and the high pressure beginning to sort of creep further north and moving it 12 hours on. It's now heading east and it's beginning to collapse. And what you're going to see from pressure being 1,023 over us over the next 12 hours to 18 hours, it dropped to about 1,016. So actually, if the pressure starts to go down, that's good news for us. But we're in quite a slack area in here. Winds really light and variable. And I'll show you what I'm expecting over the next 12 hours. You can see it's down to 1,016 by midnight. And then trough lines for tomorrow pressure. Farnborough, very short taff, 210, 2 knots, very light winds. It's almost light and variable. One or two places, middle of the country, are giving variable. But I think there's going to be a sort of westerly, southwesterly drift to start off with, then a southerly drift later on. And I would be surprised if we don't see some effect from the sea air late afternoon, evening time with a stronger southerly breeze. But Cav okay, what they're forecasting here, which means no cloud, 10k vis plus and no cloud below 5,000 feet. Gatwick Cav okay, Heathrow Cav okay. So it's tending to suggest on the Met Office forecast no chance of cumulus. I might slightly disagree with that, but we shall see. Upper winds, again, this sort of southerly drift over the centre of the country, but everything there, 5 knots variable to the south of us, and north of us, 5 knots, the southerly drift. So very light winds, nothing much at all, really. And the sat pic shows this stuff burning off and clearing, temperature rising over us quite nicely, the clear air, but sort of lowish clouds spilling in across the West Country with some moisture in it. That'll burn off, I think, once the temperatures sort of really pick up. And temperatures today, BBC was suggesting 20 around here at Alton. I think probably 90 to 20 is about right. I forecasted that for yesterday. It did get to 18, but it didn't feel like that stood at the launch point with a 15-knot wind. Much lighter wind, so it will feel fairly warm today. Sun is pretty intense. And I think by sort of 2 o'clock, we'll have those sort of temperatures around us. Dew points is the critical factor today. Where are the dew points going and what's the pressure doing? Yesterday, I thought we had dew points of about 8 to 9, and I thought it would sort of drop a little bit, make it a little bit easier. But no, the dew points actually went up yesterday. There were 10s by most places by sort of 2, 3 o'clock. If the dew points stay at about 8s to 9s, you might see a little bit of cumulus, small amounts of cumulus. If they go below, certainly below 8, then won't see any Q at all, by the looks of the ascents. The actual soundings showing quite a big gap between the two lines, dry air above about 3,000 feet. So if we plug in, this is about 8-9 degrees here, it just meets the line at about 3,500 feet. So possibly the chance of some cumulus at that, but as I say, if it goes below 8, no chance of actually seeing any cumulus. And a quick look at the Camborne ascent. It shows, this is the actual overnight, probably the air we've got at the moment. Shows a strong inversion, and again we saw this yesterday from the Lark Hill ascent. That'll break and disappear readily over the morning once the sort of mixing starts in here. but above, that's about 900 meters, about 3,000 feet. It's very, very dry. So as it really depends on where the dew points go. I think if we're looking at these lines, yeah, if we have dew points below 8, they'll be up here. Temperature will be up here, and it won't be the right side of the line. It'll be blue. Top Meteo are suggesting cloud here at the moment. You can move this around. I don't think it's quite the low stuff over Oxford at the moment. There are some low bits over the West Country, but it's burning off fairly readily. Sort of 10 o'clock, we should be burning the cloud off, and might see some initial cumulus in places, but Top Meteo suggesting it actually blues out as the day goes on, with chances of odd. You can see they've put little bits of cumulus in places. I think there'll be chances of Q in various places in the afternoon, and then we're going to start to see the advance of some upper cloud from the south over us. So thermal heights should be going by 12 o'clock, maybe 1 o'clock. Should get soarable. Certainly that's by 12 o'clock, and then by 1 o'clock it's talking about 1,000 meters, so 3,000 feet above Lasham, and at best 1,300 meters, so 3,500 feet above Lasham. I think at very best later on in the afternoon. Suggested distance, there's no green colours on the map as there were yesterday. Just really extending around Lasham and out to the west and northwest. So fingers crossed, reasonable maybe for a couple of 100k in the afternoon, but chance of being fairly blue with isolated cumulus. Okay, so airspace wise, we've got very little going on over us. Number 13, they're gliding at Middle Wallop, and they no-tam that now. Number 15 is just an equestrian event. Number 20 is paragliding, so in the area here, fairly quiet. I've not looked any further afield particularly for anything major, but it's a nice day. I'm sure there'll be lots of powered aircraft floating around, so keep a good lookout for those. Operationally, we're going to go on 27. The one thing we do have is a 737 departing 10 o'clock this morning, so we'll start dragging all the kit out, and if necessary we might do an air tow or two from the Grass North side before the jet movement, and then hopefully once that's gone we'll set up on the runway as normal and there for the rest of the day. So hopefully see you out there, folks.